InnerQuest explores various pathways through which you can connect with the infinite wisdom of the universe and apply it to personal, professional, and spiritual growth. This program, featuring accomplished practitioners, educators, and authors, is provided by Infinity Foundation, an innovative center for holistic studies and research. We invite you to share this journey with us.
Hello, welcome to InnerQuest. My name is Jay Stone, your host for today, and our guest is Renee Barasch. Welcome, Renee.
Thank you, Jay.
Renee is a certified digestive health specialist. Renee addresses obvious digestive problems such as gas, bloating, heartburn, acid reflux, a too fast or too slow bowels, as well as many other health issues not typically associated with digestion, including psoriasis, eczema, allergies, hydration, sugar cravings, headaches, and fatigue. It sounds to me like virtually everything could be tied to the digestion.
It can. That's very true.
Okay, what is the job description for a certified digestive health specialist?
Well, basically what I do is I help people make the profound connection between nutrition and digestion. So what I'm helping people to do is understand what's happening in their body through the use of nutrition related to digestion. Most people are very focused on what goes in, but there's a lot that takes place after what goes in. So there's digestion and absorption and all the things that have to take place to have optimal nutrition.
And elimination, I would say?
Absolutely, you got it.
Okay. And I noticed when they put your name up on screen, it says LDHS, is it?
Correct.
And what does those initials stand for?
That is Loomis Digestive Health Specialist. I graduated from the Loomis Institute of Enzyme Nutrition, and that's where I learned all my digestive health work.
Okay. What drew you into digestive health?
Well, I had my own problems, so to speak, digestively. I had some problems that I didn't really relate to digestion, and a friend of mine started me on the enzymes, and I had noticed that within just a few short weeks things started to resolve, and then I noticed a lot of my neck pain went away, and and then other things started to take place, and I thought, okay, now this is really what real nutrition is. I get it.
There's a saying in A Course in Miracles, you teach what you have to learn, and obviously you're teaching what you had to learn yourself.
Correct.
And does our digestion change over a course of a lifetime?
It does. Our digestion is affected from stress, which I know none of us have, right?
Yeah.
But stress really comes in three forms. Stress is emotional, stress can be nutritional, and stress can be mechanical. So tight shoulders, or maybe a hip that's too high, or even a headache.
Or tension in the stomach?
Tension in the stomach, definitely. So those stresses end up...
So what you're saying is the stress in our life, which everybody has, it causes our digestive to change over the lifetime.
Correct.
Okay. And I guess we should be paying attention to our digestion because it's probably one of the first signs that something isn't right?
That's correct. And some people don't notice it as an obvious digestive problem. Some people will notice it in the form of, as you stated earlier, an allergy or arthritis, or the body not being able to get rid of cellular waste. That's a form of maybe fibromyalgia. Many, many things that are not directly related to the digestive tract.
Wait, yeah, I'm not going to let that one slide. Not get rid of cellular waste, does that mean sometimes obesity is a result of what's going on with the digestive system?
There's a direct correlation, most definitely.
You want to tell our audience why?
Sure.
Because that's such a big issue in this country.
Sure. Well, what I will say is that there's so many ways to go with this, and I'll just start with a very simple truth, is that food is made up of fat, carbohydrate, protein, vitamins, minerals, and enzymes. So when food is heated, the enzymes get destroyed. Now, when you're eating food, and I'm not advocating an all-raw diet because I don't think that that's reasonable in the middle of February when it's freezing out, but more raw foods are definitely better. The problem is that the enzymes get destroyed. So over the course of time, when you're eating food that might overwhelm your digestive capabilities and the food doesn't break down, it then causes stress in the system, and since it won't break down, it will store into the fat cells, and the body can't get rid of the waste on that cellular
So
level.
it'd be like walking around with like a 20-pound knapsack on your
Exactly.
backpack, but it's being stored in the stomach.
Or other places.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. And so tell our audience why digestion is so important to our health.
Because digestion is really the catalyst to bring all your vitamins and minerals into your cell walls. So it's digestion is really the mainstay of what happens in your body as far as transportation goes. So in nutrition, what you're looking at for most optimal nutrition is, again, what goes in, how the body can then digest it is the second step, and then there's an absorption that must take place, and then a utilization of whatever vitamin and mineral, and then an elimination of waste on a cellular level. So if there is a kink in the hose in one of those steps, then of course it'll affect the rest of the chain. So digestion is paramount as far as bringing in all the nutrients.
Now, is it possible that people have 2 or more kinks?
Absolutely.
And okay, can you elaborate on multiple kinks in the digestive system?
In what form? As far as a symptom or?
Well, you could use like an example of one of your clients, or a disease like Crohn's disease or irritable bowel.
Sure. Sure. Thank you. That's a wonderful question. Let me give you an example. I have a client who came in to see me for acid reflux. She's on medication for type 2 diabetes. She has swelling in her ankles and tingling in her feet, and doesn't sleep very well, and had just kind of a general fatigue.
And I would suspect stress, a lot of stress in her life.
Sure, when you don't feel good, you don't feel good. It's hard to try to make yourself feel good when you just can't feel good.
And was she obese too?
Oh, no, not at all. She was just regular stature, and she just had a digestive issue, which is what she came in to see me for. So we went through the program, and we started her on some digestive enzymes, and within a very short time, her stomach pain went away, and within a few weeks, her sleep was so much better, and her swelling went away in her ankles, and she's doing very well. So
now, you mentioned these digestive enzymes. Are these something that people buy in a health food store, over the counter? Do you need a prescription?
You do not need a prescription. They're available at Whole Foods. They're available at GNC. I use Dr. Loomis's professional line, and they're available everywhere.
Okay. And how many different enzymes do you recommend?
It depends. It depends on what somebody's coming in for, and depends on what their complaint is. I never give more than 1 or 2 things just to start to see how the body responds, because many times when you just give it a very little bit, the body responds quite nicely. So if there's a second or third formula that's needed for something else, then we give that as well. But
and are there some enzymes you recommend more than others? Can you give an example?
Sure. Well, there's digestive enzymes that we use for digestion, and then there's systemic enzymes that we use for the other organs and cleaning. So those are a second phase, and also a third phase of lymphatic enzymes that we use as well.
And so why do people end up needing supplements for their enzymes?
Well, I think there's many reasons. I think that, again, the stress that, that we're all under, our body has a lot of demands that needs to be met as far as our daily grind goes, with having to meet going to work and picking up kids and everything else that we have to do. And your enzymes are your construction workers of the body. They're the ones that are on the front lines. They're bringing all your synergists into the cell wall again to be used. So the enzymes get depleted. They get depleted quickly.
And is it, could people have a shortage of enzymes because of poor diet, poor nutrition?
That's one of the reasons, definitely, most definitely. Back to the whole stress, emotional, nutritional, and mechanical, it's one of those always. So poor diet can play into it. Modern processing has removed a lot of the enzymes in our food today, because heating destroys the enzymes, but it gains shelf life. So the food will stay without breaking down.
Okay. And once you recommend someone to use enzymes, do they have to take the enzymes the rest of their life, or eventually they learn a good source of enzymes and their body can then produce enzymes themselves?
That's true, and not necessarily do they have to take them forever. It depends on how somebody's feeling. So for instance, if somebody comes in to see me for whatever condition and they start doing really well, what we may do is cut down the dose and see if they're feeling better and if they're able to sustain feeling good. And some people can go many months without taking an enzyme once they're feeling better. Some people can only go about a month, and some people can't go a meal without taking an enzyme. It depends on their level of stress, their digestive capability. You know, there's just no one size fits all for everybody, unfortunately.
Yeah. So you mentioned like taking enzymes at each meal.
Correct.
Now, does the enzymes work that quickly that it can help digest that one particular meal?
That's true. They absolutely do. In fact, Dr. Loomis designed his capsule to open up within 30 to 45 seconds to be able to get past an incompetent digestive tract.
Huh. How long does a typical medicine take to open up then?
A medicine or
a pill?
A pill?
Yes,
it depends on if how it's made. If it's, you know, compacted together, it depends on what it's put in. You know, some things don't break down at all. Some things will come out the way they went in.
You know, I should ask you to tell our audience what enzymes are and what they do, because they might not have the knowledge that you do. So you want to explain
Sure.
enzymes since you've discussed it so much?
Absolutely. Well, there's I'll start with the 3 different kinds of enzymes. There's digestive enzymes found in your digestive tract. There's food enzymes found in raw food. And there's also enzymes that are metabolic that run all your processes of your body. So there's 3 different types of enzymes. And then the digestive enzymes and the food enzymes is what we're speaking about today. And those enzymes are basically little protein molecules that have amino acids and minerals and things like that to help create a surface tension of the cellular structure to allow things to penetrate in and get nourished and eliminate the waste. That's what an enzyme does. It makes the cell a little more spongy and a little more permeable so nutrition can be absorbed.
And could you actually see the enzymes on a microscope, through a microscope? I mean, actually, you said they help the enzymes help the cell looks healthy. Could you actually see the healthy cells
Sure.
and the unhealthy ones?
Sure. People that do live blood cell, absolutely. You can see the cells that are kind of strung together that may have not a lot of oxygen or a lot of enzyme activity, and then once an enzyme is put in, you can see some of the cells break apart. I've seen it before.
Now, I learned a technique called Doene self-massage, a hair massage, where you actually massage the abdominal organs.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something you'd recommend?
Absolutely. Dr. Loomis's system is actually based on muscle contraction around digestion. So massage is absolutely called for. I think it's wonderful. I'm also a 19-year veteran massage therapist, so I think it's fantastic.
Do you still do massages?
Very little, but I still do.
Yeah. Now, but what about the self-massage where you massage the internal organs?
Absolutely. Anything to stimulate the organs to get some oxygen and some blood flow and some nutrition is fantastic. I think it's great.
Well, now you mentioned oxygen. I got to follow up with a question. What about breathing? How important is breathing to digestion?
Well, let me tell you,
Yeah.
breathing is very important. Breathing actually opens up the rib cage. It helps the gallbladder to stimulate enough bile to break down your food and degrease the fat, and it's necessary. We don't breathe enough. We don't breathe deeply enough. Most women have gallbladder trouble. They are the ones that have gallbladders removed, not men so much, because women have the tendency to breathe more shallowly and men breathe a little more deeply. So you guys do a little bit better in that department than we do, but breathing is very important, and there's the example right there.
Yeah, and also, isn't breathing involved in peristaltic activity?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. So what disrupts the delivery of our nutrients?
Well, the disruption comes again from the lack of enzymes being in the food to begin with. So again, food being heated or processed, and then the body's inability to break down the food. So there's where the disruption starts, and then it becomes a chain of events after the body can't manage what's going on in the digestive tract.
Okay. And what about meat? Meat, dairy, what about those things? How does that affect the digestion? Are those foods that we should avoid? Should we eat them in moderation? Obviously, meat has to be cooked.
Correct. So how do we get past that? We take an enzyme.
Okay.
I think that there's no one-size-fits-all